Good evening, welcome to a match of Dota 2 for GosuLeague Division 2, Season 4. And it looks like we are waiting for a spectator to be loading into this match, and I hope that we don't have to remake, otherwise I have to do the introduction again. But until we know for sure that we're actually not going to be able to load in, I will already do the honors of introducing to you my co-caster for this evening. It is going to be Zyori, and you might have seen him cast for It's Gosu before on own TV, but tonight he's all mine, or ours in that sense. And how are you doing? Welcome.
I'm doing very well. Excited to finally be co-casting with you. I'm hoping it's going to go well. I'm ready though. I'm pumped up. How are you feeling tonight?
Likewise, I have to say, I actually ate tonight, and normally when you ate you tend to be a bit lazy afterwards, and I have the same thing, but gonna see how it goes. It should be better though with two people. I find that there's more energy. You don't really have to look for stuff, so it takes a bit less focus, so you get less tired from it. So it should be good regardless.
Yeah, I was slated to solo cast the It's Gosu tournament two days ago, this past weekend. So it's been a while since I've had a co-caster in Dota 2 also, but pumped up. GosuLeague is off to a good start, I think.
I think so too. I have to say though, because it is with all the team switching and stuff, it is very. I mean, the differences between the divisions. There's of course Division 1, and then there's Division 2A and 2B, and the differences are quite big in both divisions. There are some teams in Division 2 that I think, well, those should be in Division 1. There's some teams in Division 1 which I think should be in Division 2, and that makes for some uneven games. So I have to say, we as Asian and uebelst Gaming, I think they're pretty much. We should be in for a good match. I think they're a good matchup.
Yeah, I'm glad to see some of the team rosters finally settling down after the international. I felt like just as I was starting to get a little bit of a handle on who was on what team, everybody just threw their hands up in the air and reshuffled all the teams. So I'm sort of in the same boat, playing catch-up. Like, every game I cast, I feel like, isn't that guy? Oh, right, okay, yes, they've swapped rosters again. Okay, I'm with it now, so I certainly agree with you. But yeah, I'll admit, I'm not so familiar with either of these teams. I don't think I've casted either of them in my tenure here casting Dota 2.
Well, you might remember. Well, I have to say, on uebelst Gaming, they have a bit of different names. But for example, Dota 0, you have seen him play for Mousesports maybe, because it's Kurokai. And Alex is playing for Mousesports as well. Both as a stand-in, though. I mean, everybody plays it as stand-ins, but you know, there's only 2 real official members, I believe, still in Mousesports, so it's all a bit of a hassle.
I have to ask you, Dota 0, Kurokai, is that actually how you pronounce it now? I've heard other people pronounce it Kuroki, and I don't know which it is.
I asked him because, of course, he was also at TI too, and well, it started out as Kurokai, and he's also at some point it turned to Kuroki, and he's basically fine with everything, so you can't do it wrong. It's really that simple. But let's look at the draft real quick, because I see some heroes flying by and I think, So we have got some standard bans. I mean, the TA as well as the Darkseer, Enigma, not so standard, but still solid ban, I think, as well as a Naga Siren. But I look at uebelst Gaming, and they picked up a Undying, Venomancer, and a Rubik. Venomancer, Rubik, I mean, not really to say about that, but Undying already there. I do like that, going for push power. And up first, the Batrider, Tidehunter, and a Chen. I mean, what can we expect to be seeing banned out right now?
Yeah, it should be interesting, and I agree the Enigma ban does stand out a little bit, and I'm not surprised at all to see Rubik first picked. He is really kind of the creme de la creme now, so to speak. It seems every game I cast he's either banned or first picked right away, so I'm not surprised to see that. But Batrider, I know the recent patch, a lot of heroes have gotten a lot of changes, and I'll admit I haven't committed that entire patch to memory. Has Batrider received any buffs or nerfs recently? Yes, he has.
And actually, I've been told, because I thought it was a pretty small buff, but he has, the thing that changed was his turning point, for example, also. That actually was a pretty big buff, even though the number change is small, but, you know, percentage-wise, it was just pretty big. And then there's also, he gains more strength per level. He has increased Firefly duration. Cast time and cast animation time also decreased, so easier to solo lane, easier to last hit, and we have seen him picked up a lot more lately since the patch. And of course, I'm cheating also. By the way, I have on my second screen the patch log. So also the thing that changed was that the Firefly damage trail doesn't disappear if he dies before the duration is over.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah, there were so many changes in this patch. I have to say I'm so happy to see Lycan finally getting a little bit of a nerf, and now it seems maybe an overreaction. He's totally ignored. I think he still has some power if he's picked up and put in lane, but that versatility is kind of gone. So, Chen as well. I'm pumped to see some Chen play. It seems he hasn't been getting quite as much love, at least in the few games that I've casted since the patch came out.
Yeah, I've seen him quite a bit still. I mean, he hasn't. Yeah, he has some changes, but it's still Chen, and he was already a decent, good hero to begin with before the patch. So he's still just a solid one. And of course, I mean, it doesn't really change that there's still only really 3 good jungle heroes in the pool. I mean, Enigma, Enchantress, and the Chen. And yes, you can try it out with the Doom, but I have been told that Doom in the jungle now with the patch, it is better, but it's still a bit slow. And you cannot just not compete against that Enigma and Enchantress. And we do see we as Asian banning those 2 out just to make sure that they are the only jungle hero or real solid jungle hero in the game right now, having that advantage.
Yep, absolutely right. So it looks like Queen of Pain going to be banned out, and it would seem the long lane heroes right now are going to be up for grabs. I imagine Windrunner will either be banned or picked up here, and it kind of depends. How do you think WhA's Asian is going to lane this? Are we going to see kind of a solo Bat Rider, or is he going to be kind of a tri-lane? Last time I saw Bat Rider, he was actually in a tri-lane and had absolute freeform to pick up like a 7-minute Blink Dagger. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm kind of expecting him to be playing a solo lane, but then there's also the tide. I mean, I've seen Bat Rider mostly solo mid now, but that was when they were against Templar Assassins. But yeah, we've seen Tidehunter solo as well. So I mean, we see uebelst Gaming banning out those solo lane heroes, so they're obviously expecting that Tidehunter to be either on a dual lane or Bat Rider to be on a dual lane. But in theory, they could both be that solo lane. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm actually really excited to see Bat Rider since his buff, and he can certainly kind of snowball out of control if he picks up that early bit of farm. Like I said, the last game I saw a 7-minute Blink Dagger, it was over. It was just done. So if he can get that kind of level of farm in this match, well, can certainly hope for big things. I still think Windrunner is going to be a powerful hero either to be banned or picked up here, especially for our Dire team. I don't know what they're going to do in with the terms of the long lane quite yet.
Yeah, well, again, for here as well, I mean, in theory, every single one of them could solo lane, even though Venomance, I mean, normally if he solo lanes, it's against a TA, so he'll probably be a support. But since they're kind of forced to be running either a tri-lane or 2 dual lanes, I think maybe a Rubik would also support, but it will all have to depend. I mean, and we see it on Dying Solo, there's just so many options for these teams. I mean, we as Asian, they ban out the Lone Druid, just a hero annoying to fight with, so they're just banning out heroes that, you know, they don't really want to fight, maybe not really expecting them to be picked up by the opponent team. And Invoker, one of those heroes as well. And it was actually Crystal Main banned out from uebelst.
Yeah, certainly right. And I just want to comment, since we've been talking about the patch a little bit. I don't know, have you had the pleasure of casting a Shadow Fiend yet since the pup, since his buff? It is incredible. I am hoping to see more Shadow Fiend play. I don't know that he'll be picked here, but
I have seen a game with the Shadow Fiend. There was a Train Protector in the same team. They were played by Skonas Elite versus EG. They lost. It was really sad. Sorry for spoiler if people didn't see it yet.
Well, that's a bummer. I saw a similar game, but it was a little more one-sided, so I can't use that as good evidence of how well Shadow Fiend's buffs have really impacted him. But quite the interesting change. He's a hero that just, I really like the concept, but he's sort of fallen out of this metagame a little bit, so it's nice to see him at least have a chance to come back and have a display some of his power, so to speak.
True. Well, right before that match that I actually casted with the Shadow Fiend, I saw a clip on YouTube, which maybe you've seen as well, with Shadow Fiend being... there's the Windrunner indeed.
There we go. Feeling good.
Yeah. It was Shadow Fiend being ganked by 4 people. And it was just one Shadow Fiend, and he got his ultimate off, his normal ultimate before he died, and then he died and he got his other ultimate off as well, and then he got a triple kill.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. It seems, I don't want to use the overpowered term, but the fact that there's no cooldown basis for when it pops after he dies, it can be a little bit ridiculous with those back-to-back ultimates. And wow, Anti-Mage going to be the last pick here, so... Jakiro, though, speaking of this patch again, talk about buffs. Jakiro is definitely almost a different hero now since they reworked the way Icy Path works, or Ice Path. I always call it Icy Path, but it's just Ice Path.
Ice Path. I call something else too, even though I don't know anymore what it was, but not Ice Path at least. But yeah, I mean, it's a very good dual lane hero. I mean, I don't think you can go really wrong with Jakiro anymore. Kind of.
Yeah.
He's always useful. It's like, I mean, with Windrunner, we know Windrunner, she's been in this metagame for like ages,
Mm-hmm.
And she's always solid, like good late game, early game. By the way, wait, where was the Leshrac?
I was just thinking that. Get out of my head. I was just thinking that, like, okay, so Lesh wasn't banned, wasn't picked at all, and I'm kind of scratching my head. I don't know. I don't have a good comment as to why there was no Lesh attention in this game.
Because I was just saying, like, Windrunner has never been really out of the meta game because she's good in all stages of the game. But the same thing goes for Leshrac.
Yep.
So, yeah, awkward.
I don't know. I'm a big Lesh fan. What I love about that hero is he can play such a variety of roles. Lesh is great in a tri-lane, great in some dual lanes. He can even just solo mid and kind of play that mid-game semi-carry so well. So PA's been picked up here, and the big change from Phantom Assassin is the ability or agility growth. He just really, maybe Phantom Assassin's a girl. I don't know. He, she.
She's a she.
Yeah, it's a she. I guess it is a she. She's tough though, so I don't know. But yeah, she can really get out of control. I mean, she's always been kind of a powerful hard carry, but now with that agility increase, I guess what is it here? It used to be 2.8 per level, now it's 4.2. So that is quite the difference. And I don't know. What do you think? PA versus Anti-Mage. Who wins the hard carry battle?
I have to say, well, with Anti-Mage not really being changed apart from his movement speed, which doesn't really do that much. Wait a second, let's see if there's something gonna go on here. Here's the Ice Bat, already locks in 3. Is there gonna be more? It's gonna be Rubik, that's gonna be the first target. They're taking a lot of damage. He's gonna try to run away, will be first blood though, going for Jakiro, and Anti-Mage gonna be the next one out, blinks himself away, and now it's up to the rest of uebelst to just back out because they are no longer in the favor. Another Ice Bat, locks in 2, but the duration is not long enough to follow up on. And that is WhA Asian with a good start, and on their Jakiro.
Yeah. Very nicely done. Both teams grouping up as 5, and obviously the Radiant team coming out way ahead, and I think that'll settle down and we can see where these lanes start to filter out a little bit. But yeah, Anti-Mage versus PA. Continue on. Yeah,
well, because Anti-Mage, I still think that as soon as he has his Battle Fury and his team isn't all too much in a bad position, he will still farm a lot faster than that Phantom Assassin. I mean, that's just the Anti-Mage, and that thing didn't get changed. And I still think that, in a way, wait a second, Jakiro, what are you doing there? He's gonna get blocked here by Chill. He cannot get out. Ice Bat trying to make himself up, but nope. It's Venomancer that picks up the kill. Yep. And that was just the wrong place, wrong time, I would feel like.
Yeah, and unfortunately the ward coverage is pretty solid here for the Radiant, but not in that situation. We see a bottom ward to get that some sight on the bottom room. They have a nice aggressive lane ward as well, so they want to be a little more aggressive in this lane, but unfortunately Jakiro just had no vision in this immediate jungle and kind of got caught with his pants down, so to speak. So our dire tri-lane here off to one hell of a good start. These lanes are rather interesting, though. Tidehunter versus Windrunner heads up solo mid here. I never would have predicted that would be the case looking at these two drafts.
No, I mean I think we've seen this matchup. I mean, it's not uncommon, but it's only on a side solo lanes, on the side hard lanes.
Right.
But yeah, let's just go over players. See who's playing what first, so that we can have just a quick proper start. I'll go over uebelst, which is actually obsolete. Apparently they changed their name. But it's going to be Chill on the Undying. RNM is going to be playing the Rubik. It's going to be Alex, who is not really a stand-in, I believe, but he is going to be playing the Venomancer. It's going to be Kuroki on the Windrunner mid lane, and on the top lane is going to be Hey, who is playing solo against a Batrider, not the most fun lane in the world.
Yeah, Anti-Mage is going to be struggling a little bit in the top. We can see the difference in farm already. Batrider only had 8-4 compared to the 5-0 Anti-Mage, where you can see the difference in health pools right now. And Anti-Mage will be running out of regeneration before too long. Let's go ahead and introduce the Radiant team. You can go ahead and do it as well, if you like.
Okay, yeah, sure. We see Crit from Games University normal, but he is going to be standing in here for WhA Asian on the Batrider, harassing that Anti-Mage. Look at that, 5 stacks, 1 more hit needed. Blink away is there. Wow, there's the salve. And that's just so risky, letting yourself get those stacks of sticky napalm.
Yeah.
They change around very fast. We have the Tidehunter played by Asia, who is back from being MIA, as I've been told. And he's going to be playing the solo lane. Normally we see Asia playing the solo hard lane, but this time, well, versus Kuroki in the mid lane, who's going to be assisted now by Alex on the Venomancer. On the bottom lane, we have the Phantom Assassin, played by Unicorn, the carry of WhA Asian, and that leaves only one person, that is Hip Hop Not Pop. He is going to be playing Jakiro, who we saw, and nice. Yeah, he took first blood, and he gave also a kill in return afterwards. Yeah.
And of course, RMC on the Chen here in the jungle. And in the mid lane, Tidehunter going to be in a little bit of trouble. He very well may fall right here. The Venomancer slow going to be enough to keep him from getting away. And Alex going to be able to pick up the second kill of the game here for Team Absolute. Or is that, how's that pronounced? Is that Absolute? Absolute?
I think it's Absolute.
Absolute. Oh, okay. That's an interesting
I'm not sure, though, because I would like to call them still WhA Gaming, because, I don't know, I'm just used to that. But, yeah, they changed their name, I guess. Maybe.
So it looks like Batrider is continuing his dominance up in the top lane, and I'm going to be curious to see exactly what build he goes for. So far, pulling up all that gold, well, he's going to go ahead and pick something up here on the courier. It's going to be his bottle. But I'm going to be curious if he goes for the fast blink or opts for kind of a different build here. Like I said, I haven't seen too much Batrider play, so this is quite interesting for me.
Yeah, well, Blink Dagger still, I mean, it's very good still. I kind of think, like, it's a choice. Do you want to go for your tankiness first or for your Blink Dagger first? Because I do think, like, every Batrider needs a Blink Dagger. Oh, Jakiro wants to go for this Rubik here. Telekinesis up on the Jakiro, making him miss his Ice Path. But Rubik's still on the run here, pops his South. Gonna try to back out, gonna try TP out. In the meantime, it's Undying that got locked inside the web, but he is an Undying. And he has his Tombstone on cooldown, but it looks like he'll be fine. And Rubik actually TP'd to the tier 1 bottom, so he's still close by in case there was needed help.
Yeah. Smart play right there. So as soon as they got a glimpse of the Rubik, they all just backed up. So every time someone ports in my mind, I think, yes, he's going back to the base, but a crafty little play just to port to that tier 1 in the bottom and kind of reset things a little bit. PA's farm down here probably not as good as she would like, sitting 13-1 compared to the 22-3, pardon me, anti-mage. So still chugging along, but probably not getting maximum free farm down here in this bottom lane. Unfortunately, it's kind of a dual lane versus, well, what was a tri-lane, though. Alex is roaming all over the map. He's made his way up to the top lane now, actually. So he's all over the place, just going to stack and pool, get a little bit of lane control back for the anti-mage up here at the top lane.
Yep, wonder if he can set up a kill there, too. I mean, he set up a kill bottom lane, middle lane, and now it's only one lane left to go. In the meantime, I have to say, I'm quite impressed with anti-mage still being able to farm so much with a lane that I have to say he should not really be winning with all the harassment coming off from crit, but the last hits are still fairly even. There's 24 on the Batrider, and Antimage's actually ahead on 26. Even though now with the Venomancer there, of course, I mean, he gets some advantage there back.
Yeah, and this is a slightly different take on Anti-Mage from what I'm used to seeing. It's been maybe forever since I've seen Tranquil Boots pop out on Anti-Mage, and seeing him play this solo lane, it certainly makes sense, but not something I would have predicted, and it's working very, very well for him. Batrider sort of forced out of the lane a little bit because of that Veno presence, and I think he's very wisely playing this defensively, because if he gets caught by a Gale, that will be a pretty easy kill for Anti-Mage. So just having Alex's presence up here is really boosting that farm of old Anti-Mage here.
Definitely. Windrunner is going to be getting a gush in the face. I mean, there is a Ravage up on the Tidehunter, and there is support incoming as well. Here comes the Chen. Windrunner will be fine, though. I mean, if there was a different creep up on the Chen, maybe. But not going to happen. But yeah, Ravage is up, so we might see some action coming up from Asia pretty soon.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Both teams with their hard carries seem pretty comfortable just sitting back and farming right now. Neither side is really totally lost one of the lanes, so I can sort of understand why both teams are just as happy to sit back and keep it steady. Up in the top, though, looks like we could see something brewing. Jakiro's come up here. Alex is going to come in the back. There's the Gale. It'll connect with Batrider. Jakiro's going to throw the Ice Path, though, and that'll be enough for our Dire side to disengage. Alex may find himself in a little bit of trouble, though. Chen going to come up here as well, and I think Alex may pay the ultimate price. It's turned into a 3v1. Anti-Mage is going to go to the side shop, and he may very well just port out of here. He's going to pick one up just in case things get a little bit sticky. Batrider going to be the one to pick up that last hit onto Alex.
Yeah, and that was, of course, also the result. It's now 7 minutes in the game, and that means that all the wards have disappeared from the ones that were there from the start of the game. So no vision, so they didn't see the rotation coming, and that's just the trouble you can get yourself in all of a sudden.
Exactly. A beautiful time. We see Veno threw down another ward here at the top lane, but unfortunately didn't give any sight of Jakiro hiding at the side shop. So a noble effort to try and pick on this Batrider, but as you said, the timing just didn't work out. And it looks like Chen going to stay comfortable up here in the Dire jungle, so they may opt to try and put some pressure onto Anti-Mage, at the very least pressure this lane a little bit. He's got a couple of Sateir Hellcallers here. We'll see what Chen decides to do as he moves into the lane.
Yeah, it's not the best creeps to try to push down a tower, but can never hurt. Yeah. And they might just
a little bit of AoE damage on the shockwave, maybe some creep clearing.
True. Oh, smoke up for Alex as well as for MNR. RMN, jeez. 3-letter names. It's confusing. Yeah. Let's see if they're going to do something here. We still haven't... Oh, there he goes. It's the Chen that's going to be found first, but the creeps will be real. I have to say, those Hellcallers do more damage than you think. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the same boat. I usually don't see Chen picking them up, so it's kind of like, that's kind of a wasted creep almost, but they hit pretty damn hard, and with 2 of them, the shockwaves can do a nice 250 burst damage, so I guess something not to be underestimated. We're going to see him clear up the waves here. This top tower going to be exposed, and it looks like a fight could be brewing. Tides here, though, as you mentioned, he does have that Ravage. This could be the time for our Radiant.
Yeah, Antimate's trying to chase it down, but I do think he might be in a slight bad position, but it's actually we as Asian that's backing off. It's now 5 versus 4 here, with the only one not here, the Phantom Assassin, who is still farming. Oh, actually, it is also the Windrunner that's still farming on the mid lane, so 4 versus 4. But we as Asian actually backing off, while I think like they have the better team fight, but maybe they're just afraid of that Tombstone that, of course, the Undying has placed somewhere, apparently, because he has it on cooldown, but I can't really find it.
Well, one of the big problems here, Chen is about 2 creeps from hitting level 6, so he doesn't have Hand of God, and I think that may be what they're waiting for before they take a big team fight. So they are going to disengage. Bottle going to be on the ground, and some bottle trading going on here. You're going to throw it on the courier. So, yeah, RMC going to head back to the jungle, and maybe once he hits that level 6 mark, we'll see Chen be a little more active. Also opting for very fast arcane boots. I thought Chen may be going for a super fast mech, but well, going to go for a little bit of mana regen instead to start us off.
Yep, and the chat that we see going on is because Unicorn managed to get 1 hit upon the Antimage, just 1, when it was a splash crit, so that was pretty painful. And there's the Ice Pad blink in, no more crits for you though, and Antimage able to blink away.
Yep, there you go. And up in the top lane, Bat Rider almost got engaged on as well, but yeah, he did manage to get away. So a bit of lane rotation here. Rubik and Undying going to take over the top lane. Windrunner still have Is a Clam to free farm away in the mid lane. Windrunner's actually taken over as our last hit leader here, sitting about 51 and 10. So it'll be interesting to see Windrunner pick up this much farm. What's she going to do with it? Where's that item route, or what item route is she going to go? Any thoughts about what a farmed Windrunner can do?
I have seen Windrunner being semi-carry, and I have to say, I mean, it's still phase boost that you want and a 4-step that you want. Also, he gets locked inside the net. Ravage being used on him, and he actually changed his name to Puss. What?
He did. So a nice play there from our Radiant side. They pick up the kill on the Windrunner and also secure that tower deny in the mid. And they may need to rotate top as there is a push incoming here. There's 3 heroes in the top trying to pressure this tier 1, but unfortunately they don't have that huge pushing power. Tombstone isn't down yet, so not going to commit to the push. We'll see what they do. But yeah, nice play in the mid. Unfortunately, Windrunner may be getting a little bit too anxious with that double damage rune. Yep.
And I have to just say, well, because apparently then Corki is not actually playing because Past is also a member of uebelst. And then it's Corki that's missing from uebelst right now.
Alright.
Confusing name changers.
Confusing indeed, as if the names weren't confusing enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, Chen is now hit level 7, so we do have Hand of God. He's got a couple of different creeps. He's got a Troll Warlord as well as a Centaur Khan. So more what I think of as kind of classic Chen creeps. Perhaps this is going to be their timing to try and make something happen up here in the top. We see a couple of Skeleton Warriors out as well. So they will have that pushing power, and I imagine this tier 1 in the top lane will fall. It doesn't look like any defense is going to come its way from Absolute here.
No, because they're all on the bottom lane right now. 4 heroes here, 4 Absolute, and I'm wondering if they're going to be able to be in time to push down a tier 1 tower, because the Ravage is not on there anymore, actually, 60-second cooldown, but he is TPing to the bottom lane, as is a lot of his friends, as in there's now 3 heroes here. So I do think the rotation from uebelst or Absolute is a bit, well, preemptively. They're not really going to get anything here, I think. Maybe they can force out a fight if they find someone standing at the wrong position, but look at the position of we as Asian. They're just hiding in the jungle, waiting for an opportunity to grab someone, because that Bat Rider is level 8. Ooh, telekinesis, shackle, power shot, misses actually, and there's the Undying pops his ultimate, already placed the Tombstone as well. Hand of God going through them, there's the last of Ledges on Chill. He cannot do anything right now, and Chill has to back up. Crit gonna get taken down though by the Windrunner power shot. Gush still lands on the Undying, trying to get away. Shackle, Ledges spread Asia to a creep. And Pass, he's not done yet. He might get another kill, he might get a double kill here. He doesn't care. Power shot. It's Venomman's actually that picks up last hit. Macropire will make sure that Windrunner goes down though together with the PA. Actually, Macropire killed off the other one, but
yeah, PA going to be able to clean up Alex here. And when it's all said and done, it's going to end up being a 3-for-4 exchange across the map, and there were engages kind of all over the place. So somehow or another, we as Asian is going to come out ahead. They do keep that tower alive, though. Down there, Undying, man, just showing us what that hero is all about. If any of you were questioning the power of that hero, so tanky. He took so much damage there. And I think he was kind of the driving reason why Absolute was able to kind of take a victory, at least down in the bottom lane, until PA came in to clean it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that they were kind of not counting on all the heroes hiding in the forest, both Crit as well as the Tidehunter there. It was kind of a surprise, and I have to say they paid for it. All 4 heroes that were there ended up dying, and they didn't even take the tower.
Yeah, exactly. So even though it seemed like kind of a sloppy fight from our Radiant side, they kept the tower alive, well out of deny range. So all things considered, I think I would label it a nice defense. Looks like they are going to group up in the mid here, and this tier 1 tower in the mid is actually pretty low as well. They may be able to clean it up. Chen going to have a couple creeps. The glyph going to be used. It looks like they are going to pose a defense. Veno going to come in. He's going to throw down a couple of wards. We're going to see Undying come in around the side as well, and he has no fears, at least at the moment. He's going to pretty much charge straight in. He's going to drop the tombstone, and that will be enough to scare back the forces of WhA's Asian. So a nice tower deny in the mid, and will stay alive well out of deny range.
Yeah, and that's the power of the tombstone indeed. Instantly all the creeps fighting something else but the tower. You only have to deal with that siege creep still. In the meantime, Antimage is back farming on the top lane. He is not doing too bad. I mean, I just put on the net worth graph rather than the last hits. He is not doing greatest of everybody. I mean, it's PA that's definitely ahead of everybody right now. But Antimage, he is building towards his Battle Fury, and when he has that, he will be farming a lot faster than what PA is doing right now. But it is all about the timing. Will Antimage farm fast enough?
Yeah.
Or will
well, that is the million-dollar question right now, and PA is off to a hell of a good start. Leading the way on net worth is exactly where this PA wants to be. He's picked up his Vlads now, and the difference in that timing is PA does have a little bit more of a window of opportunity before Anti-Mage. Now that especially since he's hit level 11, those crits are pretty scary. We're going to see him engage straight on the Windrunner down here, and just look how fast Windrunner drops. PA did almost nothing, just a couple of right-click auto attacks there, and Windrunner sort of forced back to the well almost. Very scary stuff. So there's going to be a window here for WhA's Asian to kind of take command of this game before that Anti-Mage can even finish up his Battle Fury. As you so properly put it, it's going to be all about timing.
Yeah, I still have to say that, Shackle didn't latch, they wanted to go on the PA, but nope. I have to say, I don't think I really like the Phantom Assassin idea of having to get lucky with crits.
Yeah.
I just decided that. So I just wanted to share that. And Blink Dagger up on the Batrider. 15 minutes in, but, well, not bad. Not all too exciting, like a 7-minute one that you said, but it's still going to be that giving him that initiation that he wants. Look at him, he's already hiding, he's going to get support from the PA, and they want to go for that Anti-Mage. He's going to jump in, lasso the Anti-Mage, and let's see if there's going to be enough crits to take him down. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. Anti-Mage going to push up here, and he's walking into the danger zone, and he's going to back up. I think he's suspicious that there may be some tomfoolery afoot, recognizing he doesn't have a tier 1 tower to retreat to. Yeah, he's going to back up. A very smart play from Hee, or I guess the E with the little hey, is that what that symbol means? We don't have that symbol in the English language, so hey. So he's just going to go ahead and farm up here. Unfortunately, I think Batrider may have had an opportunity to engage that while PA was nearby, but he's going to hide in the trees and wait for him to come back. As you mentioned, the 15-minute blink, not too bad. Windrunner. Batrider could have picked it up a little bit faster, but he did opt for that more tanky build, as you were mentioning, going the power treads first, as well as going for the magic wand. So Blink also now just picked up on Tide. That's huge, and there's the initiation on the Anti-Mage in the top. There's the lasso, the crits coming out. Are they going to have enough? And that'll be it. One last crit to finish him off while he's casting the Blink animation. Maybe a little bit of lucky RNG there on that crit for Phantom Assassin, but a nice kill nonetheless. And that will slow down Anti-Mage for that Battle Fury just a little bit more here.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, it's just a matter of patience, and Crit did stay in that patch, like, in the forest for a very long time, and Anti-Mage, oh, wait a second, PA gonna get killed, telekinesis, Fable going through, will it be enough to take him down? It's gonna get blocked, but blinks himself to Crit, and we'll be fine.
Yep, and I think he's going to be able to survive. They may try and pursue this. Undying actually going to find his way up here as well, but now Batrider going to blink out here, and I think they'll be able to survive. Windrunner going to come. The Shackle will latch. There's a power shot, but PA is trying to get some right clicks off. Unfortunately, the Windrun making that a little bit of a mute effort. It looks like Batrider will be able to pour it out. Very nicely done. PA going to be able to run out as well. So a big opportunity there, but unfortunately, the day will not be seized here by Team Absolute. All the while in the bottom lane, though, this Tier 2 taking a lot of pressure. Jakiro, Chen, and Tide pressuring this tower hard. Anti-Mage doing everything he can to defend. They need to be careful here. It looks like they could get sandwiched. Undying coming around the back, and they are going to back up in time before Undying can pose an initiation. 3 Ursa Warriors under the control of Chen right now.
I have to say, the only time that we've seen the Chen is either with well, he has the same creeps the whole time. Either two
Yeah.
of the same, three of the same. Likes to get an army of himself. I
Yeah.
have to say, it looks like WhA is trying to force out a team fight because they have the Ravage up again. Oh, they're gonna find some people here. Not gonna go in on it though. Yeah,
We'll
so
finish off that Tier 1 tower in the mid, though, and that's going to pull PA just a bit further ahead on that net worth tab now, about 2.5k ahead of the Anti-Mage. And one thing I love about WhA's Asian right now is that they've been picking on this Anti-Mage a little bit. This is the time you need to shut down Anti-Mage. He's still working on that Battle Fury. He's so squishy, especially with those Tranquil Boots. He's got a little bit of regen. He has the sustain, but he doesn't have the raw stats you would get from Power Treads. Only about 800 hit points. That's not a hell of a lot on an Anti-Mage here. So the fact that they've killed him at least once to slow down that Battle Fury is exactly what needs to be done. A Smoke Gank going to come up here, though, from our Dire side, and we'll see if they can make something happen.
yeah, maybe they want to try to use the anti-mage as bait, and they're gonna just hang around waiting for someone to come. And it looks like there are gonna be people coming. No, 5 though, still only 3. But there's of course a tier 1 tower very close by. Here comes the first TP. It's gonna be a Tide Hunter. He's gonna look for a Ravage. Anti-mage is gonna go down. PA picking him up, and that's Rubik down, and the rest now has to back up as fast as they can. Tombstone going up to help that, but Ice Path will still lock Chill, and will it be a crit? Nope, but it's Jakiro that still picks it up. We've been able to force stuff out.
3 easy kills there. Actually, Rubik fell down in the mix. Anti-Mage, I can't believe he was so aggressive right there. Unfortunately, the smoke positioning was not the best. They got revealed. Anti-Mage blinking into tower range, getting caught by the Ice Path. That was just a big misplay on the part of Anti-Mage there.
Yeah, Ice Path, Macropire, crit, and I think also, well, the Ravage still hit him as well, so that is pretty painful. And like you said, I mean, he doesn't have those power threats, he doesn't have that survivability just yet. He only has a bit of extra armor, but he kind of needs those power threats. And I hope that he's still gonna split up his Tranquil Boots also, because normally when he finally does get his Battle Fury, he kind of needs those power threats to get that attack speed up as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Speaking of items, though, Chen has now picked up his mech, so a nice timely mech, and that is kind of synergized nicely with the strategy it seems WhA Asian is going for here. They've been able to take out 4 towers already, only 20 minutes in, compared to the 1 tower that's gone down on their side, and it was denied as well, so they have a huge advantage. This might be a good time to take a look at the graph difference here, and yeah, we see the Radiant ahead by just about 10k gold already, and just breaking that 10k experience lead, so they're ahead by a pretty hefty margin here, 11-5.
Yep. At the same time, I mean, it is an Anti-Mage, but like you said, I mean, he's being shut down pretty nicely, or at least making, well, slowed down. Not really shut down, slowed down. You can't really shut down an Anti-Mage ever, but slowed down enough to give PA that chance to just get ahead so far right now. I mean, it's even Windrunner right now that's highest up on the net worth for the Dire side, not even the Anti-Mage anymore.
Yeah, I think the scariest statistic to look at here is just that raw KDA, PA 5-0-2, while Anti-Mage is 0-0-2, so not even a single assist on the board for Anti-Mage here. That is a huge disparity between those 2 hard carries. Level 15 PA, only level 12 Anti-Mage. I don't know, I think this Phantom Assassin may just get a little bit too out of control before Anti-Mage can really reap the benefits of that Battle Fury. We see a Sacred Relic already picked up here on Phantom Assassin.
That's going to be the start of the pain. I'm wondering when WhA Asian is going to decide that it's time for them to try and, well, and actually force out a team, because I have to say the kills that they've done so far are kills that came out of fights set up by uebelst Gaming, mostly. Of course, they managed to pick up on the Anti-Mage a bit, but the rest of the fight all were handed to them.
Yep, that's certainly a good point. I think they'd be well advised to try and take some team fights here. I think they have a slightly better team fight team with that initiation power on Batrider, especially since Tide has his blink now as well, if he can land a good Ravage, as well as the Chen ult. They just have a really solid team, a lot of disables, and that's one thing that our Dire team really is lacking. They just don't have much in the way of disables. They don't have any of those huge AoE ultis, you know, no Black Hole, no Ravage, and they're just lacking stunts in general. If Windrunner can land a good shackle that latches to initiate, that very well it could be their initiation, but a little bit riskier down here in the bottom lane. We're going to see some initiation onto Venomancer. He very well made the first to fall in this fight. He's going to go down, Undying, and fall shortly after. Veno did get the ult off, but that's about it. It looks like the mech will top everybody off and going to mitigate most of the damage from that Poison Nova. Looks like WhA Asian going to go for a nice easy Roche kill here, all 5 of them grouped up. Of course, the power shot will scout it out, but there's just really nothing that Absolute can do about it.
Nope, we still see the Anti-Mage trying to get his farm up. He has got the Battle Fury right now, as well as 1k. And he's going to try to push down a tower, but the TP is in there from crit, and maybe he's trying to go for the Anti-Mage here now, just forcing him back. But yeah, Roshan falls. PA picking up the Aegis like she wasn't hard enough to kill already. I mean, she hasn't died one bit just yet, and she picked up her Abyssal Blade already.
Ouch. Yeah, that is really, really scary. So again, we were just talking about stuns. That adds another stun to the field here that will go through BKB. So I like that item choice, really capitalizing on the edge that their team already has. I think it synergizes with sort of the draft that they've picked up already. They're going to pressure this tier 2 in the mid. No defense on the way quite yet. The glyph is going to be used. We'll see if they try to swoop in for deny, and it's not looking like it. Power shot going to come, do a little bit of harassment, but nope, tower just going to fall. Chen going to pick up the last hit. Only one outer tower remaining for our Dire team, and they're kind of backed up against the ropes here, unfortunately. Anti-Mage still pressuring in the top. He may very well be able to get that tier 1 tower, but we see we has Asian knocking on their front door, going to start pressuring this tier 3 without the glyph. They need to make something happen, or they're going to be fighting without a mid lane of Rax here soon.
Yeah, they do lock in the TA, but is it going to be enough? She has the Aegis. It's not going to be enough to go. Venomancer, where's the crits? No crits?
Uh-oh, no crits, bro. Yeah, luckiest Venomancer on the block. They're going to keep it going. The Ice Path's going to be stolen by Rubik and do a little bit of damage, but it looks like they just don't have the DPS. I mean, look at all of the health on this Radiant team. They have so much sustain. The Chen ult's been used. Chen needs to be a little bit careful here. He's up very far forward. Chill going to get caught. PA going to go back in. Still has the Aegis. Going to try and get some big crits. Really unlucky right here for this PA. Chen is going to fall to the wrath of the Anti-Mage, and I think that will be enough to repel this Radiant team. As you were pointing out before, the RNG factor on Phantom Assassin can work for you and against you, and I think in that fight worked more so against WhA's Asian than anything else.
Yeah, I think if she was a bit more lucky with that, we might have actually seen a blink in from the side to go for that Ravage, but he didn't do it. I mean, no Ravage, and I mean, yeah, their Chen died, but, you know, they got a tier 2 tower, they got a bit of the tier 3, but they didn't really force out that team fight. And we of course we saw was being very careful. They made sure they didn't overstep. It was only the Chen that was slightly out of position and paid for that one. But it is yeah, I'm surprised they didn't continue pushing since they still had the Ravage.
Yeah, myself included. And this is they're sort of teetering on the edge of they're really far ahead right now, but Anti-Mage will start to get a little more out of control as he has the Battle Fury. He was able to pick up that tower at the top, and getting the kill on Shen was pretty huge. He's pretty close to that BKB. He's got the Ogre Club and the Mithril Hammer, and he's about a third of the way to that recipe. So once he gets that BKB, he'll be a little bit harder to stop. He still won't be able to go toe-to-toe with Phantom Assassin, especially with the Aegis, but it's still kind of a scary time. Again, I love the fact that PA has already picked up that Abyssal Blade, kind of staying a step ahead of Anti-Mage. So, of course, goes through that BKB.
Yeah, and that's going to be really painful. I mean, if she then blinks on the Anti-Mage, Abyssal Blade on there, and she gets lucky with crits, that's a dead Anti-Mage because he still doesn't have that survivability. Yes, he gets some strength, of course, with the Ogre Club there, but I don't think it's going to be enough against a lucky PA.
Yeah, and also that looks like they could be waiting for a pipe before they push super hard. Tide has the Hooded Defiance and about 1,400 in the bank, so he is pretty damn close to finishing it up. And that may be kind of the nail in the coffin, so to speak, to you know, secure a kill here, but maybe not. Perhaps I'm thinking too far into it. They're just going to group up, pressure this tier 3 once again. Still no glyph for the Dire side. The tower going to take another bit of damage. Just going to harass it down to about a quarter HP or so, and then they're going to disengage once again. We as Asian just going to keep poking up, looking for that golden opportunity perhaps for either Bat Rider or Tidehunter to initiate a fight before they overcommit, which I like. Bat Rider also has a Hood of Defiance.
Yeah, both of them have actually in the deed.
Yeah.
So, there's the blink and there's the Ravage. It's on 3 and that's Alex already going down. Still has his ultimate though, doing what he can. Macrofire though, pass. He will drop there. 4-stop forward will be enough. I don't think so. Actually, Stake Charges will keep him alive, but Anti-Mage does go down, and that was a lucky Anti-Mage. Buys back though, forcing everybody back also with that buyback. And it's gonna be, whoa, it's gonna be uebelst. They want to go for it, but there's a Flame Break trying to send them back, and it blinks away. That's what you have with these mobile heroes. There's no chasing them.
Exactly right. So it ends up being a 2-for-0 exchange. Of course, Anti-Mage did buy back in the end, but that's sort of what we were talking about. PA just so powerful. As soon as Anti-Mage hopped into that fight, a couple of big crits, and there you have it. That's a dead Anti-Mage. So unfortunately, that is going to set him back a little bit. He's another bit of a ways off the BKB recipe now, unfortunately. So I don't know about that buyback from Anti-Mage. I think it did repel a little bit, probably helped keep the barracks alive, but unfortunately they weren't able to grab a kill. As you mentioned, that huge mobility of the Radiant team makes that buyback just so much less cost-effective.
That is very true. I mean, it's just a setback. Again, I mean, you hear people say, merely a setback, but it's a big setback for the Anti-Mage, and that well, that time that he needs right now is maybe something he's not going to get. And,
and especially since... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, Tier 3 tower did not go down, still. We as Asian focusing more on the kills than anything else, but they still ended up winning that fight, and it's not looking good for uebelst right now.
No, certainly not. And the big problem there is that PA was actually the one to pick up that kill. Pull up that net worth tab for a moment, and that is scary. PA is now up to about 15k, and that is just so far ahead of everyone else in this game. He's now picked up a Hyperstone, and I imagine he's going to be pretty close to that Assault Cuirass here in the upcoming moments, and that is going to be really, really scary. Mix that with the pipe that will be coming on either Tide or Bat Rider here. Oh, Tide's already picked it up, so those two things will be a factor in this upcoming team fight already. Absolutely up against the ropes, and I think those two items may be enough to kind of throw it over the edge, so to speak.
Yep. There is at least Anti-Mage now having his BKB complete if he wants to, and he does pick it up. I'm still quite surprised he didn't pick up his threads rather than Tranquil Boots, but apparently he feels like he needs that, but I don't really think he does. We'll see though, if he wants to swap that at some point still.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. I guess it's true, he can't quite afford it yet. I would agree with you, though. At this point, the Tranquil Boots really aren't doing much for him. I think it was a nice touch, slightly different take on Anti-Mage. It worked well for him in lane, but I think you're exactly right. It's time to pick up the power treads. We'll see. Mech has been picked up on Rubik as well. Unfortunately, his farm is a little bit underwhelming here, especially compared to the supports on our Radiant side, and he's kind of just falling behind a little bit.
Yeah, we do see Windrunner building probably what is going to be a sheepstick so that they can deal with that PA. But, well, and PA actually not building towards the BKB, so it's going to be susceptible, whatever, to that sheep if it's going to come. But then again, she needs a bit more farm. And right now, she's just standing around in the forest.
Well, she's actually pretty close. Has the ultimate orb, 3k in the bank. She can afford the Mystic Staff and about halfway to the Void Stone. So actually, that's could be pretty scary if she manages to pick up the Sheep Stick. You're exactly right. PA going kind of a glass cannon build a little bit here, or at least not maximum survivability, so to speak. So that's interesting, because an interesting caveat here. We were talking earlier on about what's Windrunner going to do with all that farm. Maybe she'll save the day with a Sheep Stick.
It could be, and I have to say, I mean, all the barracks are still up, and it is still an anti-mage. And although I have to say, he is staying in his base, he's not farming. This is hurting them a lot right now. I mean, we see Windrunner, she is still standing in the forest waiting for something to happen. Of course, everybody is missing right now from WhA, so it might be the right thing to do. Of course, we can't really judge that because, you know, we see the whole map and we know that there's not really any danger right now, but anti-mage should be farming, and he doesn't even feel secure enough to farm. And that's
well, the big
problem.
Yeah, the big problem though, Chikiro did pick up a very early gem. He still has it in his inventory, so map control has gone the way of WhA Asian for most of this game, and they see only the two wards down in the jungle up on the plateau and here kind of up on the high ground. So they do have a little bit of coverage, but really I can understand why they're so scary. That gem from Chikiro was such a great choice. Anti-Mage going to get jumped on here. Yeah, he's going to drop like butter to a warm knife. Big crits coming out from PA, and that's going to make things a little bit scary here. I don't think Anti-Mage has enough for a buyback, so it's going to be a 5v4 coming up. He's dead for about a whole minute. Ouch.
Yeah, and everything is up for realization apart from the last three, but they don't really need that, I feel like. I mean, yeah, there will be a Tombstone, that will be annoying, but there's also a Ravage, and, you know, there's a PA that's pretty big. Yeah, and it has your Assault Cuirass complete as well. And 3 Centaurs! Again, 3 the same hero, same picks for the Chen. And it's the Centaurs of all heroes.
Makes it easier to micro, I guess.
Yeah, Tombstone already down again.
Yeah, Tombstone. Wow, and 130 gold on Tombstone. I didn't realize it gave that much, but wow, that's a nice little pick-me-up right there. This tower going to fall so quickly. The Tier 3 is going to go down. The Glyph is up. Oh no, pardon me, the Glyph is down. They just used it. And yeah, these racks are going to be exposed. There's going to be a Shackle that's going to latch onto PA here. Power shot to follow up, but it's just simply not enough to put it... Put it simply here, Anti-Mage going to be popping up in a couple of seconds. Perhaps his presence will be enough to at least pick up a few kills in this fight. Phantom Assassin does not have an Aegis. He's going to get locked down. Ravage going to come in. They're going to try and initiate this. Looks like Undying is going to be the target of choice. Nope, make that Rubik. He's going to fall, and now Undying going to fall shortly after. Anti-Mage is in the mix, trying to do a lot of damage. Does have the BKB active, but he's going to be forced to blink defensively. It's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange. Barracks are going to go down. I think WhA Asians are in a really good position here. They may be moments from a GG as they're going to hang around and keep clearing up this base. I don't even think they have to back here. Met going to be popped up again, and they're all at reasonably good health. They're not going to take my advice, though, and they are going to head back and possibly go for Roche as he's now respawned.
Yeah, I have to say, this entire game already, they have been playing it really safe. They're just taking what comes at them. And right now, yes, they pushed in, but they're not going to try to force anything by staying around there, even though I do think, I agree with you, like, they could have stayed around there and hang out and kill stuff, but yeah, go for the safer option, killing up Roshan first, and maybe now we're going to see them pushing down the mid lane. In the meantime, it's Antimage again that is continuously farming, this time on the top lane. He's got 1200 gold. He doesn't have anything else, so what did change is the Windrunner just picked up her side of ice.
Yeah, we were just talking about how big of a pickup that is. If they can lock down this PA, again, still no BKB. He does have 3,300 gold, so very well could be his next item choice. And if they sit back and farm for just a couple of minutes here, it should be absolutely no problem. So we'll see. If he does go pick up that BKB, that will be kind of a bittersweet ending for Windrunner. So close to being able to lock down this PA, but unfortunately, BKB does counter the sheep stick quite effectively.
Yep. Yeah, and it feels like the window of opportunity that we talked about is kind of slipping away for WhA Gaming. It's open too long for WhA Asia. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I would certainly agree. I just 11-0-3 PA. Just look at that. The KDA chart is so different. I mean, the next highest is the 4-5-2 Venomancer, and that just speaks numbers to how farmed this Phantom Assassin is. I'm sure the net worth tab will also paint a pretty clear picture as well. They're just going to group up. Looks like this last remaining tier 2 tower for our dire side is going to fall here in just a matter of moments. As PA, oh my gosh, just cutting through this tower. Quite ridiculous.
Yep. Creep Wave's already dead. That's the last tier 2 tower standing on the side of WhA Gaming. In the meantime, we're gonna see Chen getting picked off here, probably losing his Ghost Scepter, but I don't think that will save him all too much. And that's the Power Shot getting the last hit, past making sure of that. And there's gonna be support, but it's too late. In the meantime, I mean, I hate it, it's only the Chen, even though Chen is of course a pretty big hero, but right now WhA Asia, I think with 4 of them, they are still doing good enough to continue pushing here.
I'm not sure what Chen was doing there, though. I was sort of tunnel visioning up on the top lane, and Chen just kind of caught in the middle of no man's land. Double damage actually on Tide as well. Tier 3 in the mid does fall. Very easy push. Oh, beautiful Shackle does lash with PA and Batrider. But Pipe going to be used. That'll keep PA alive a little bit longer. Still has the Aegis, so he's going to get focused down, but very well may be able to survive. Anti-Mage going to hop in, try to go toe-to-toe. He's going to stay alive, but nope, Ravage going to pop out, and that's going to be the end of him. Looks like Chill going to fall shortly after. Alex is up against the rope. He's going to get caught by a Gush. He's going to go down. It's looking like a 2-for-3 exchange. Well, a 1-for-3 exchange here, as Chen was already dead before the fight started. Unfortunately, the Racks are not going to survive. That's going to be 2 lanes down. WhA Asians probably moments from a victory here in this match.
Yeah, and at least they got the Aegis out, so I do feel like, okay, they killed off Unicorn at least once, in theory.
Yep,
There's not
and there it
entirely
is.
invincible.
Yeah, not totally invincible, but unfortunately that easy Roche kill will be enough to sort of throw them over the edge, so to speak. 6k gold on Phantom Assassin as well, so even if he was taken out, an instant buyback would have come, I'm sure. And yeah, that'll do it. We're going to see him hop in onto poor Windrunner, and she's going to get dropped like wet tissue paper there. And yeah, that'll do it. GG, well played by both sides.
Indeed, and well, it is GosuLeague, so it is a league system. Every team plays each other twice, so we're going to have a game number 2 between these 2 teams to see if it's going to be made even with 1 point for each team, or if maybe WhA Asia is going to take home 2 points, because you get a point for each win, and at the end of the season, team with the most points wins, and also this is Division 2, so team with the most points wins, and goes to Division 1 also. So that's also something worth fighting for. Why did PA just bought another? More Vladimirs, please.
4 Vlads. Look at that
Vlads.
beautiful bright green inventory.
Yeah.
Going out in style.
Indeed. Batrider's taking the kill. But yeah, it is going to be a victory for WhA Asia, and we are going to see another game coming up. Stay tuned for that one. We should see the turret exploding. There it is. My name is Sheever. I've been casting together with Zyori. We're going to be casting that next match as well. If you want to know more about GosuLeague, go to gosugamers.net/Dota2, and you can also there find a banner where you can click on from Rocket, because you can bet on the matches, and you have a chance that at the end of the season to win lots of Rocket prizes. So you should definitely check that out. And well, we're going to go ahead and jump ourselves into the next game. Stay tuned.